got to get that one limb off because it might sweep my rope. Ugh. Oh well. Yeah, YouTube. This thing is breadstick. Yeah, I didn't want that sweeping my rope with the weight of a whole top. Okay, I think it'll be okay now. Whew, okay, I feel better.
What's up, YouTube? I just stole August's camera. He doesn't know I have it, but I'm waiting for him right now in the truck. Me and him are getting ready to go do a job, and Jeff and Max are out going to Cave Junction to do some sort of like a dead madrone or something out there. I don't know what we're doing, so we'll see what we have in store. August, tell them what we're doing.
What's up, YouTube? We got the A&D show. We got DNA. The ADHD show.
The DNA show.
So here we got interesting things. So Damien's been here. This guy, this is a friend of his place, so it's Damien's job. And he was saying he had some hazard, scary dead trees, and then right after Damien made a plan to come here, this thing fell. Like, look at that. That's like Butterfinger dead. Terrible, terrible constitution. It went out. He got channeled through these, which gunned it straight for that tree, which it crashed into, and then broke into pieces and crushed the corner of the guy's mobile home.
And then that top was stuck at the very top.
Yeah, the top was hanging up there, and Damien rigged it out. But I'm glad it fell on its own, because Damien would have been climbing this days later if it hadn't fallen. And it's really, really yucky. So that begs the question, these remaining we have to do, how bad are they, is the question you ask yourself when you're looking at this stuff. So we got a tree here we can tie into, and we'll figure it out, but we don't know. We got to figure out who's doing what. What should we do? Who's climbing it? Why is it crooked like that, Damien?
I don't know. I don't like looking at the crook. I was here with Nicole. I talked her into coming here, and I like kind of looked at these when I was there, but it would look at, you remember I texted you later, and it was like gonna be dark soon. I'm like, I'm gonna go get this log out, and I came down and it was dark. And he's like, dude, at this point, because I was gonna work on those. He's like, at this point, I just want those ones in the back. And I'm like, all right. So then I briefly, barely even looked at them when I was here that day. And I figured, well, I'm just gonna show up and I'll get them down, and maybe Nicole can untangle my rope or something. And I started looking at them a little closer.
You didn't want...
And I said, well, I think I can do this one here with Nicole on the ground, but I don't really want to ask much of her on the ground with these.
Well, I'm no Nicole, but I'm here now.
Yeah.
So one of us will go up there. I got an idea. You go up this tree and set a line for yourself and a line for me.
Okay.
And then you pop over to one of these other trees, and I use the line for the other tree.
Okay.
I obviously want to do the worst one.
Okay, you can have it.
Yeah, then you do more grunt work and I do more hazard work.
I'm fine with it.
I like that. I'll put the drone up there and then you guys can get a look at the aerial view before we get started. Damien thinks he can swing from this tree to that tree. You're not a bad person if you can't make it. It's just
super lame.
Your little frog legs are not froggy enough for this. Well, that's halfway.
That's halfway.
I'm gonna get you a rope. And by the magic of video editing, Damien made it on his second try. Or we did a different thing. You be the judge. Damien wants to know what it sounded like, Blake.
Blake will be a YouTube sensation.
Like a semi-truck hitting the side of your house.
From up high?
From way up high, yes.
Yeah.
No brakes.
What was your very first thought?
I'm gonna have to crawl out of my house. There's
Oh.
rubble.
You didn't think... It's that dang tree. Did you think that?
I thought it was one of the dang trees.
Yeah.
Yep. Did not think it would get that close to the power and well, but
check this out. It missed the well house by an inch. But it didn't miss the house.
no, found the house.
Yeah.
It's okay though. For what it could have done, it did not do much.
Yeah. He's going up it. He said he's sneaking up it. He's going up it pretty carefully. Not wiggling it much. The homeowner thinks that, he says he thinks they all died around the same time, which is not good. George of the jungle. There's a lot of sway.
And I dropped a tiny bit. I was like, Jesus.
There's a lot of sway in that too. That stuff is punky. Clear to the middle. Garbage. Light and punky. Total trash. That makes the safety line in this other tree seem pretty smart.
They like redid their stuff. Like I've ridden through there and people like
Oh yeah.
people don't like it.
Won't be too excited.
can feel that the bark is not attached. It has a certain feeling and sound. On some trees you don't mind much, but on these pines you don't love that. Especially if you can see the constitution of its neighbors and how they failed. Just things to think about. It's still a really cool life of problem solving that you get in this field of work. You kind of stack the deck in your favor until you feel like you're gonna win, and then you go for it. So you're just trying to, like Damien was doing, he was sneaking up. My weight is kind of more on that, and this is like a guide that I'm going up. I cut the little ones off on my way up because they snag on things. Later they get in your way. I think it's sloppy work to leave a bunch of stubs. Later they come back to haunt you. So I'm gonna hold on here. See how much that wiggles? Look. So I'm gonna hold on here, advance my flip line a little. I'm kind of staying straight on the tree. Then sneak up a little bit. Okay. Then tighten this up. When they get really hairy, you should have like a breakaway flip line. But I don't think I'm there for that, quite at that hairy level yet. I made it past the crook in the tree, and I didn't see any like extra weird like hairline fractures or anything, so that's good. That tells me that it was probably the way the tree was grown in the forest around the other trees, phototropically searching for light and acting weird. It's nice to take some weight off finally instead of just stubs. Wind blowing sawdust right back in my face. That's I did 40 pull-ups this morning before I came out here. You'd think I'd be more tired, but I actually feel kind of like Hans and Franz right now. Anybody know what that means? Hans and Franz. I feel a little pumped up. We want to pump you up. The bad thing about these kind of pines, that one, I'll show it to you later. So they can be kind of dry up here and a little harder, but the moisture settles in the bottom, and so they usually break way down there, you know, halfway down, sometimes 10 feet off the ground, sometimes 20 feet off the ground. There's a couple that you can't really see them through the trees over there, but there's two over there that snapped off last winter, and they snapped up, they snapped probably 10 feet below where I'm at now. And so you never really like weight, and even if it's green, happy looking, healthy weight especially, you don't really want that happy, healthy, heavy stuff above your rotted off, decayed foundation. And it's just the worst thing for your life when you see that. I hate it. There's been some wind today, not like loads of it, so I'm glad it's kind of diminished. If you wouldn't want to be doing this in any kind of wind and having it sway on you, that's why I'm like trying to keep the sway down. Sway down. Kind of hinge those under a little so they don't hang up in the fur. Okay, doing pull-ups kind of make your arms feel stronger. I have a gadget that I made that it's an umbilical, and it comes off the Husky so that the battery is carried on your belt, and then the umbilical goes from the battery to the saw, so it's a lot lighter. Thought it would be really, really cool, but I hardly ever pick it up because I'm kind of strong enough, you know what I mean? It doesn't bother me. The weight of the 540. Yeah, we're cutting some weight off now. Soggy limb. It's been a few years back, I speed lined one of these. It was real soggy and nasty. And speed lining is trippy because it puts side pressure on it. If you want to see kind of a really cool video, it's not that long, go back and watch my video. It's called Soggy Snag, and it'll make you think if you know what you're looking at. And probably if you don't. I don't know why this tree has to be so stinking tall. Getting on my last nerve. skinnier, adjust my flip line a little tighter, sneak up a little further. Feel my spurs kind of sinking into this stuff. Get some wind. Sawdust is right in my face. Sneak up. Still not high enough. So now here's something to think about. It's kind of comfortable here, sitting back like this, but I'm kind of leveraging against the tree now because I'm out to the side, I'm behind the lean, and I'm tight here and I'm pushing this way. So I'm actually probably exerting more force on the tree that way than I would be if I was just climbing it. This is a humongous limb. So imagine when this limb comes off, it's going to be a little bit lighter, isn't it? Well, I have a rigging line in this other tree that I could use, but I think I can peel it under enough that it won't matter. Yeah. Oh, that was so dialed. So dialed. Now, I'm less worried about being on the backside with that huge, imagine all that huge giant log out here just pulling down. Sneak my way up a little farther. Starting to see my rope straight out to the side. I think I'll send a top when I get up in there, because the top's going to push on the stem when it goes over, and that stem down there is not good. So I don't want a very heavy thing pushing on it. I mean, sometimes I'll even slice these off so that they don't push at all. I don't know if my saw could handle a slice right now. got to get that one limb off because it might sweep my rope. Ugh. Oh well. Yeah, YouTube. This thing is breadstick. Yeah, I didn't want that sweeping my rope with the weight of a whole top. Okay, I think it'll be okay now. Okay, I feel better. I'm horizontal with my climb line. That was a beautiful top. Just sailed right in there. Happiness, happiness. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord, admire the view. Why am I breathing heavy? Probably stress. Because it ain't physical exertion right now. This thing, like, it's dry, powdery. Like I could lift this with one hand and throw it if it wasn't connected. It's chintzy. I'm bleeding for some reason. I don't know why. Probably this bark. It cuts you like little razor blades. Pretty flat. Damien calls that dancing them off. I'm gonna do a little spin, a little pirouette. Pretty good and decent dry right here. Down the road wouldn't be good. I gave you that speech already, didn't I? cool sound. Feeling so much better about this tree now. How about you? YouTube friends, extended family, how you feeling? You'll know who you are if you've wrecked out a spar with sawdust in your face. Down to 1 bar on my awesome little Husqvarna 540i battery powered saw. Love this thing. See if I got another cut in it. Come on, little husky. You are a good saw. Thank you. You are a good saw. Can you do another one? I'm trying to be a good operator and not like make it work too hard. Oh, it's flashing. Come on, baby. One more. It said no. Okay. Let's see if that was enough. Let's see if we got enough. That was enough. The little saw that could. Evan would be mad at me if he saw me wreck the battery that hard. Dude, this saw did so good.
I'm impressed. I know, I was wondering, I'm like, you just gotta do that whole thing with that.
Dude, yeah, I know, these last cuts were 19, 20 almost.
Yeah.
Diameter.
It'll pass through that Madrone, right?
Oh. Oh, yeah, yeah.
You're gonna come like right to me.
Yeah, the hinge will keep it.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe a little bit of a high stump.
Yeah. Just switched from SRT to DRT here. I was SRT out of the top of that, and it was retrievable. Then I switched to DRT off of the stem because our ropes were too short, 200-foot ropes, and they couldn't DRT off of these trees. I'll show you a little trick here if you want. Just a second. Give me a second. Don't be impatient. Now, YouTube. Hold your horses. So, I've got a running bowline here we'll use to pull this tree over because it leans back this way. We're going to pull it over into that spot. We have to brush it right by this tree. Well, if you have the knot, this is a slip knot basically, it chokes. If you have it on this side, then the knot ends up down in the dirt. But if you take your, oh, my saw's dead. Forgot about that. Never mind. You know, maybe it came back to life just a little bit. I had just enough. My buddy Evan would hate that. So anyway, you make a little notch for it, for your rope. And not only do you have better leverage because you're pulling straight off the top of the tree, but your knot, your loop here, is going to be on top of the log when you're done, and you can untie it here and then pull your rope out from under the log. And if you're worried about it like slipping off the top of the tree, then just move it down a little more like that. See, now this is going to be pulling straight up on it, but it's also going to choke, so it'll be fine. I've done it for 40 years, or if I don't want to exaggerate, 38 or 39 years. And this will come off because this is choking. So I've got my climbing line going through this ring and then this ring, right? And so the pressure of pulling the rings together is what keeps this from slipping and having me fall. So then later when I unhook this side and I pull on this end, it comes up through this ring and then it catches on this ring and the whole thing falls off. You gotta be careful sometimes choking. If the bark is real fluffy, like this will be okay, there's knots here and there, but the bark can slide on these dead trees. So just because you're going around it doesn't mean you're good. It's gonna get dark on us, I think. See, watch. You wanna see that in action now? And I pull this cambium saber out. This is one that Lupilio Santiago made for me. He's a Jedi in the industry, Rambarista, Mexican guy. We don't speak the same language, but we have tons of respect for each other. He made me that as a gift. Thank you, Lupe. They're going easier, aren't they?
A little easier, yeah.
All right, I think I'm gonna go and tickle it with that rope.
Okay. You want me to go do it?
Better hurry.
Before it falls. The rope slack's pretty good.
Yeah, just pull it down and get out of the way. Now, let me show you how weak it is down there. Remember when I was on the stem and I was talking about how it'll be weak way below me? Look at this stuff. This is the stuff we call butterfinger bar. Garbage. I got that term from David Driver. I always said breadstick, you know, kind of like biscotti.
Unless a log guy comes to something with them, but
yeah, I'm gonna try and make that happen. If not,
if he doesn't, you know, it comes.
It'll get cut up and around.
Like if you're cutting this one, you want to be on the top, on the uphill side. So if you cut it off there and it falls, you don't want it rolling over your legs.
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden you're like, yo, Damien, I got a log on my leg right now.
911.
And I need it cut off.
All right.
And you don't want the 911 guys bucking the log for you. You got your GoPros and stuff, August?
Yeah, a bunch of turkeys just flew into these trees.
Who's
Monkey people, dum dum.